Welcome back. You're watching Power Lunch. The markets are steady at this point in time. We have facing some sort of resistance at 8,050 levels on the Nifty. We just a tad below it. We've come off the lows of the day, but the resilience to pull back is not very strong, and at this point in time we are wavering slightly. The good news is that small caps and the mid caps are seeing greater action, so the breadth of the market is positive, and we are seeing 53% of the counters advancing on the BSE 500 as opposed to 43% that are declining. These are the big gainers: United Spirits, Cipla and PNB. Let's pull up the stock of Symphony Ltd. This is a company that deals in air coolers. If you look at this chart today, it's higher by just a quarter of a percent, but if you look at the year chart for entire year, Symphony has given returns of 374%. So it has tripled your money in a year's time. To talk to us about the prospects of the business, we are joined by Mr. Nrupesh Shah, Executive Director at Symphony. He is joining us on the phone line from Ahmedabad. Mr. Shah, thank you so much for joining us on NDTV Profit, and congratulations for getting into the large cap club now. Your market cap is about 5,000 crore rupees. From a decade ago, you started with 28 crore rupees. It's a great coming. We understand that you're expanding your production facilities in an SEZ in Kandla. Can you give us more details about the kind of capacity that will come on board?
Currently, we are already having a SEZ unit at Sachin, Surat, having a capacity of about 200,000 units. But considering the logistic advantages as well as further facilities available at Kandla, we propose to start another SEZ unit at Kandla, which will come up in next couple of months, and the total capacity which we are just crystallizing will be anything in the range of 100,000 units to 200,000 units. But as per the Symphony philosophy, there will be negligible CapEx. Eventually proposed to have investment in such a shade and land. Without our own investment, it will be on lease, and other investment in plant, machinery, etc. will be just in few millions. And we expect it to be operationalized mostly in next couple of months.
Alright, sir, with this additional capacity, what are the kind of products that you will be producing here, and are they largely for the export market?
For this new SEZ at Kandla will be exclusively for export market. As far as the products are concerned, we propose to launch and start the production of some of the new models catering to export market, and down the line maybe new set of customers of existing models we may cater also for this SEZ.
Right. Mr. Shah, could you give us some details as to, in case you're planning some new launches? We know that the company follows a July to June quarter as a financial year. So are you planning to launch some new products in this financial year now?
Yeah, so as per Symphony's philosophy, every year it keeps on launching new products, keeps on upgrading existing models, and for the current year also there are new products, new launches and new models in pipeline. Once it is crystallized and launched, we can share the precise details.
Could you give us some kind of a timeline as to, are you planning to do it in this particular quarter, though this has been an extended, it was a delayed monsoon this year, so any plans to launch it in this particular quarter?
Some upgradation of the models maybe in December quarter and some in March quarter, that is March 15th quarter.
Alright, sir, how are sales now looking like for your air coolers, say in the month of August, and in the second quarter, what kind of sales growth do you think you'll be able to do?
We are very optimistic about the air cooler industry as a whole, as an industry which comprises of unorganized as well as organized sector, and current market size is about 6 million units, out of which organized market contributes volume-wise hardly 15%. Industry as a whole is growing in the range of 12 to 15%, and organized, there is players like us, overall growth is around 20-25%. So on the one hand, the take size is increasing, and on the other hand, there is a shift from unorganized to organized. and we expect that to continue. As far as Symphony is concerned, our growth is in excess of organized markets. So in medium to long term, we expect that the kind of the growth what we have witnessed, we should continue growing at the same pace. And this is over and above very robust growth which we may register in international market as well as in centralized air cooling.
Right, sir. That brings me to my next question. I was going to ask you about the export order growth, sir. While the summer season may be coming to an end in India, what is the outlook for export growth?
About exports, again, international market size of air cooler, excluding China and India, is in excess of 6 million units. And we have a long way to go in several developed countries as well as in Middle East, Southeast Asia, and even in Australia. There is a huge export potential. And the kind of export growth what we have registered in last couple of years, we expect to continue that kind of CAGR growth again in medium to long term.
Can you also tell us what are your capex plans now from here on?
Symphony's business model is such that for domestic business, we do have complete outsource business facility. Currently, we are having 9 outsource manufacturing facilities, and hence, except investment in molds and dies and IPRs, we need not to make any substantial investment in plant and machinery or capex. And similarly, in domestic market we sell, and also in international market, most of the sales on cash and carry or advance payment. So even on working capital front, it's most of the time during the year negative working capital, and hence even for a robust growth, our incremental capex or working capital or additional cash requirement will be negligible. So as it has happened in the past, whatever is the net profit of the company, it's almost free cash flow.
All right. And like you said, when it comes to your new launches, you said some kind of upgradation will be coming in December and the March quarter. Any kind of price hike that you are considering?
That will be decided as and when we exactly launch. But wherever we have new models or upgradation of the existing models, it gives normally a contribution of the profitability at least at par with the old models, or many a times even better than that.
All right, Mr. Shah, many thanks for joining us here on NDTV Profit. It was a pleasure chatting with you here and getting more details now. You're planning to launch, there are likely to be some kind of upgradations in the December as well as the March quarter is concerned. Nifty continues to see some kind of pressure even now as well. We are going to slip into a very short break.